students, welcome to my live teaching learning session of BECE 144 Financial Economics. Today we will discuss about Unit 5 Elementary Spreadsheets and Unit 6 topic Basic Theory of Interest. In last session we have discussed about elementary statistics. In today's topic, elementary spreadsheet and basic theory of interest will be discussed. But before starting this thing, first of all, I would like to discuss about hypothesis, which is the part of elementary statistics. Hypothesis testing. What is the meaning of hypothesis? Hypothesis is just like an assumption. It's an assumption and it's a prediction, and hypothesis is a theoretical statement concerning a certain feature of the studied statistical population. Hypothesis is very necessary to make in research, because when we make hypothesis, our whole research surrounding this hypothesis. So hypothesis is very important thing in research, and we want to know if our hypotheses are true or not by doing research. Hypothesis testing tells us that our hypothesis is true or not true. Hypothesis testing we can do with the level of significance or confidence level. It's a procedure of assessing whether sample data is consistent with the statement hypothesis made about the statistical population. Briefly, we make a decision about the hypothesis on the basis of our sample data. First of all, is in this thing, we want to get answers to questions starting typically like this. Is there a difference between two variables? And is there is a relationship between two variables? If there is no significant difference between the two variables, it means our null hypothesis will be accepted. And if our null hypothesis is not accepted, it means there is a significant difference in between two variables. So hypothesis testing tells us that is there a significant difference between the two variables or not. Hypothesis generally has two types. One is null hypothesis and other is alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis is a statement about a population parameter. We test like the likelihood of this statement being true in order to decide whether to accept or reject our alternative hypothesis. Null hypothesis is denoted by H0. H means hypothesis and it's a null hypothesis. Null means 0. That's why we can write in this form null hypothesis is equals to H0. And it is just like a statement about a population parameter. And next is alternative hypothesis. If null hypothesis is rejected, then alternative hypothesis will come in action. Otherwise, if null hypothesis is accepted, then there is no need to use this alternative hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis is denoted by HA. Here H is hypothesis and A represent alternative. Alternative hypothesis is the substitute of null hypothesis. When null hypothesis is rejected, then alternative will come. If null hypothesis is accepted, then there is no need to use this alternative hypothesis. What is the meaning of this alternative hypothesis? It's a statement that directly contradicts the null hypothesis. We determine whether or not to accept or reject this statement based on the likelihood of the null hypothesis being true. So, null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis, these are the two types of hypothesis, and both are used for hypothesis testing in research purpose. If null hypothesis is rejected, then there is a significance of alternative hypothesis, and if null hypothesis is accepted, then there is no use of alternative hypothesis. So null hypothesis, we can conclude it may be equal, less than, or more than sign, we can put it. And in case of alternative hypothesis, it means null hypothesis is rejected. That's why here we will put the sign of not equal, greater than and less than. Next is estimation. Estimation is also the part of statistics, elementary statistics, which we have done in last session, but these topics, some topics left. That's why we are discussing before starting spreadsheet this elementary statistics. Some part of these are very important. So estimation, what is the meaning of this estimation? Estimation is the process of using a score from a sample of the population in order to estimate the score of the population. There are three types of estimation. One is point estimation, next is interval estimation, third is confidence interval estimation. So estimation is the process in which we can estimate with a given data and with the help of given sample size. So these hypothesis and estimation are very necessary while concluding the main purpose. What is the main purpose of the statistics? The main purpose of the statistics is to find out conclusion from the given sample or given data. So these are the three types: point estimation, interval, and confidence interval. With the help of these, we can estimate from the given sample. Point estimation is the value of a sample statistic is used as a best guess or quick estimate of the population parameter. Interval estimation, we can use this, the use of sample statistics to determine a potential, or potential means a capacity, a potential range of a population parameter. It just tells us the potential range of a population parameter, but not it's a quick estimate of the population parameter. So interval is typically stated without stating any degree of confidence. Confidence interval estimation is the third type of estimation, and it is very important while we are testing our hypothesis. So the use of sample statistics to determine a potential range of a population parameter, the confidence interval is stated with a degree of certainty or confidence. Generally, we use two levels of significance. One is 0.05 and other is 0.01. 0.05 is calculated when we estimate that our chance of occurring is 95%. And if chance of occurrence of anything that is 99%, then we can test our hypothesis with the level of significance of this 0.01. So these are the level of significance or confidence interval. With the help of this, we can estimate samples of the population and we can test our hypothesis. Next is spreadsheet program, which is today's topic. Because in today we will discuss about Unit 5 and some topics of Unit 6. Unit 5 is use of spreadsheet and what is the meaning of spreadsheet. Microsoft Excel, the spreadsheet program, in this first is we have to organize the list of data. Next is perform basic and advanced mathematical and statistical calculation with the help of Microsoft Excel. We can produce graphs of data and automate certain tasks like schedule. In Excel, table is given, rows and columns are given. We have to put data if we want to estimate measures of center tendency, measures of dispersion, and if we want to use any other statistical tool, then in Excel or in spreadsheet program, that is the automate certain task like schedule, we can do it. And next is data collection and analysis. So this is the Microsoft Excel spreadsheet program. Under this program, we include organizes list of data, perform basic and advanced mathematical and statistical calculation, produce graphs of data, automate certain tasks like schedule, and data collection and analysis. Next is Introduction to Excel. Microsoft Excel 2010 is a spreadsheet program that can be used to create and format workbooks in order to analyze the data. And what is the meaning of this spreadsheet? This spreadsheet is a program that allows you to use data to forecast, manage, predict, and present information. So spreadsheet is a program. Through this program, we can use our data to analyze, to forecast, to predict, and to present the current information with the help of graphs and other statistical tools. Microsoft Excel. Excel is a software application which is a part of the Microsoft Office suites which performs mathematical calculations. The user must know how to enter formulas or functions to perform the necessary calculations. While Microsoft Word creates documents, Microsoft Excel creates spreadsheet. Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel create different things. Microsoft Word create documents, but Microsoft Excel create spreadsheets. And spreadsheet uses a grid like worksheet made up of columns and rows to enter data. This is the form of this Excel. In Excel, here, file, home, insert, formulas, data, everything is given. First is here the meaning of this file, file, it's a file tab. Next is A1. A1 is the name box where we can give any name of first column or first box. Next is the upper portion of the file is called quick access toolbar. Next is formula bar, here where fx is given, that is called formula bar. And where formulas is written, that is menu bar. You can open it and you have so many things, you will find out so many things from which you can use in your study. And next is the box is toolbar or ribbon. Next is column bar. Next is dialog box launcher. Next is title bar. You can give any title of this table. Next is this is the whole spreadsheet area. Next is control button. And if we see below this spreadsheet, here sheet number 1, if we are using sheet number 1, then that will be called sheet 1, leaf bar. Next is status bar. Next is view button. We can view or see everything. Next is scroll bar. And last is zoom button, zoom control, where we can zoom, increase or decrease the size of this spreadsheet. So these are different parts of this book 1 Excel, and here given name, different names represent different things which we use in this spreadsheet. Next is data analysis tool in Excel. We can analyze our data with the help of this Excel or Microsoft Excel program. Here, data is given. If we want to analyze collected data with the help of this Excel or Microsoft Excel program, then we have to use this word where data is given. We will open this data, then we will find out that here are so many analysis tools like histogram, moving average, random number generation, rank and percentile, regression, sampling, t-test, pair 2 sample for means, t-test 2 sample assuming equal variances, t-test 2 sample assuming unequal variances, and z-test 2 samples for mean. So whatever tool we have to use, we can choose from these given analysis tools and select it and press OK. So data analysis tools are the tools for financial and scientific data analysis. And because we are studying here financial economics, that's why in financial we can use these data analysis tools. Next is basic mathematical operations in Excel. Some basic operations, mathematical operations in Excel are like addition. Addition means if we want to add up, like in mean, we have to add up all the given observations and we have to divide the total numbers which are given, then we can calculate mean. So in case of mean, in measures of central tendency, we use this mathematical operation like addition. And subtraction means minus, multiplication is the multiply of given values, division, and exponents. These are the symbol which we can use in Excel while doing addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and exponents. Next is operators in Excel. Like in this, first is operator is plus, plus is addition. Its name is addition, and Excel formula is A1 plus B1 because we are adding two things. If A1, the number of item which is given in A column, that is A1, and in B column, that is B1, then we can add this A1 plus B1. And what is the description of this? It makes addition of two or more than two numeric values and give a numeric value as a return. Because if we add two things, then we will get one value in a numerical terms, that is called addition. In subtraction, operator is minus and its name is subtraction. Its formula is A1 minus B1. It subtracts two or more than two numeric values and give a numeric value in return. Next is not equals to. Then we can put A1 is less than B1 or A1 is greater than B1. Here, if A1 can be greater than B1 and less than B1 because not equal. If two variables are not equal, two things are not equal, then we can put the sign of greater than or less than, but can't use the sign of equal because here condition name is not equals to. Then we can put the sign of A1 is greater than B1, either it may be greater than or less than. Then multiplies one numeric value with the other and gives a numeric value in return. And if we use equals to means A1 is equals to B1, then its divide the numerator should be numeric value with the denominator should be numeric value and gives a numeric value in return. Like addition, subtraction, multiply and divide, we can describe this thing in this way. And range is the difference between highest value and smallest value. And range can be written in this form like summation of A2 in this column A2 raised to B6. It converts the number present in a cell into a percentage divided by the number 100. Next is union. It raises the power of first numeric value by the second numeric value. These are some operators which we can use in Excel. Next is types of graphs in Excel. We can draw so many graphs with the help of Microsoft Excel. In this, first of all, we have to open this column, the heading which is given insert. If we open this insert and in diagrams, we have so many diagrams like 2D column, 3D column and charts are given like flow chart and histogram, bar diagram, pie chart and frequency curve, line graph. So we can use whatever graph we want to make with the help of given data. First of all, we have to enter the data through which we can make graph, and whatever graph we want to make, firstly we have to select it and we have to open it in this charts and graphs where graph is written. Then we will open this thing, then we can select whatever graph we want to make, and after that we can draw the graph with the help of inserting the data which we have insert in this Excel. Next is comparison chart in Excel. In Excel there are so many graphs are given like this thing insert, here tables, illustrations and add-ins is given, and 2D column, here 2D column, here given bar graph, histogram are given. If we put some data in column A, then month, column A present month, and the title of column B is sales. According to these months like January, February, March, April, May, sales are given $1790, $3230, $2728, $2473, and $1470. And now we can present it with the help of this graph. Like in January, here sales are given, and we can, if we want to show sales with profit, then we have to make two graphs that will be called multiple bar graphs. We can make multiple bar graph, we can make subdivided bar graph. If we want to show in a same month two things, then we will use multiple bar graph. So we can draw any type of diagram with the help of given data in Excel. Next is types of charts in Excel. There are so many types of charts in Excel. Like first is area. Area charts demonstrate the magnitude of a trend between two or more values over a given period. Next is bar graph. Bar graph or bar chart compares the frequency of values across different levels of variables. Third is column. Column chart display data changes over a period of time. Next is line graph. Line graph is similar to area chart. They illustrate trend over time. Next is pie chart. Pie chart is a circular, or we can present anything in this pie chart. It shows the values as percentage of a whole. Next is radar. Radar chart compare the aggregate of multiple data series. Next is scatter diagram. Scatter diagram we use to present the relationship between two or more than two variables. Scatter chart generally show the positive or negative relationship between two variables. If all points go in same direction and the direction is upward, that will be called positive correlation. And if all the points in a downward situation, then we can say that there is a negative relationship between two variables. And if we can't draw any type of line, either positive, either upward or downward, then we will say that there is no relationship between two variables. So scatter chart is very important thing to express the relationship between two variables with the help of graph. Next is stock. Stock charts are used to report the fluctuations of stock prices or share prices over given period. And surface chart plot sets of values in the form of a three-dimensional surface. There are two types of dimension. One is two dimension, one dimension, and three dimension. So we can draw any type of diagram. If we use two dimension diagram, then we will use 2D. And if we want to draw three dimensional diagram, then we will use it 3D. Next is analysis toolpath in Excel. Analysis, how we can analyze toolpath in Excel. In this, we have to open this data. Here data is written. First of all, we will open this data, then data analysis will open. In data analysis, there are so many analysis tools from which we can use these tools to analyze our data and we can conclude it. These analysis tools are like ANOVA, single factor. Here ANOVA is analysis of variance. We can use ANOVA while single factor is given, ANOVA two factor with replication, ANOVA two factor without replication, correlation, covariance, descriptive statistics, exponential smoothing, F test, two sample for variance, Fourier analysis, and histogram. In this, we have so many analysis tools, and we can select here add-ins is given. In add-ins available analysis tool path, and analysis tool path here so many like euro currency tools, solver add-in, we can, and automation. And if we put this automation, click it, then automatically we can analyze our data with the help of this Excel tool. Next is descriptive statistics in Excel. You know that statistics has two branches. One is descriptive statistics, other is inferential statistics. Descriptive statistics generally do two things. One is organize the data and other is summarize the data. In descriptive statistics, first of all we will do organize the data, and after that we will conclude it and we can summarize the data. So in descriptive statistics in Excel, in this thing, to generate descriptive statistics for this course, we have to follow some steps. And what are these steps? Number one is on the data tab in the analysis group, click data analysis. Second thing is select descriptive statistics and click OK. Then select the range A2 ratio A15 as the input range. Select cell C1 as the output range. Make sure summary statistics is checked, then click OK. So in this form, we can organize the data in Excel, and after that we can summarize the data. When we make sure about the summary statistics is checked, then we can press OK. So descriptive statistics can be done with the help of this Excel program. Next is measures of central tendency in Excel. In last session, we have discussed about that measures of central tendency are three. One is mean, second is median, third is mode. Mean is the total number of observation. If we divide it by the given numbers, then we can get mean or average. And how we can calculate mean in Excel? First of all, we will put data in A, set A, like 42, 21, 34, 65, 90, 45, 109. We can put it in other column in ascending order, either in descending order, doesn't matter. If we want to calculate mean, then we have to sum up all the values which are given, and then we have to divide these total summation by the given numbers. So arithmetic mean is calculated using the formula given below. Arithmetic mean is equals to summation of x divided by n. Here sigma x is the total summation of all the numbers and n is the total numbers. Next is Arithmetic mean formula, here SUM is summation of column 4 raised to C10. It means C10 here C4 to C10 means 4 in 4 number 21 is given, 5 number 34 is given, 6 serial number 42 value is given. If we add all these value, that's why this is written in this form. C4 means column 4 to column 10. You add these values and divided by B12. It means in B column total numbers are 7. Then we can divide by 7. Then we can get mean, and arithmetic mean is 58. So this is the method of calculating central tendency in Excel. Next is measures of central tendency. There are other forms also, measures of central tendency. We know that here we can use mean, median or mode. So use the insert function. In this, firstly we will put data from which we have to estimate mean, median or mode. Then we can activate the command line in the box and paint an array in Excel sheet, and we can insert function mainly used for inserting the data which we have given. Firstly, we have to insert the data. After that, we can calculate. Either we can find out mean or median or mode by using formula and given for formula which is used in Excel program. Next is measures of dispersion in Excel. Measures of dispersion in statistics generally tells us how much scatteredness exists in collected data. If we want to estimate scatteredness or spread or how much data is spread out, then we use these measures of dispersion. Measures of dispersion we can use to calculate this range. Range is the difference between highest value and lowest value. Next is mean deviation. Next is standard deviation. Next is quartile deviation. These four are the measures of dispersion. Generally or in simply, we can use these measures of dispersion and calculate range, mean deviation, standard deviation, and quartile deviation with the help of given formulas. But how we can use these measures of dispersion? We can find out these measures of dispersion in Excel. In this here, insert. Firstly, insert. We will insert here data, variable x and variable y, and in variable x and variable y, here we will, if we want to find out range, then we will see that highest value is here 20 and the lowest value is 2. The difference between highest and lowest is 18. That's why range is 18. And standard deviation we can calculate by taking mean of all the values and square of mean divided by total number under root sigma x square. If we are using individual series, then formula to calculate standard deviation is under root sigma x square upon n. This x square is, it may be x minus x bar whole square divided by n. And variance is the square of standard deviation is called variance. Variance tells us variability of given data. If data are more variable, more vary, and if there is a too much variance in the existing data, it means there is less consistency. that will be less reliable. If data has less variability, then it will be more consistent and more reliable. So variance tells us about the variability of data, and which further tells us the reliability or consistency of the given data. And histogram, we can draw histogram and polygon with the help of given data. If we want to show in a diagrammatic way, then we can use graphic tool in Excel. Next is the basic theory of interest. This is the part of unit 6 and block 3. What is the meaning of this basic theory of interest? Till now, we have done spreadsheet or MS Excel, Microsoft Excel program, how we can use statistical tool in Excel program. Now in financial economics, next block is block 3, and block 3 here we are discussing about the basic theory of interest, and this is included in unit 6. Interest is frequently called the time value of money. You know that interest we can get interest by lending our money to the borrowers, and borrower will pay us interest by using our money. So interest is a reward which a person can get by separating their money and by giving their money to the borrowers. Interest is frequently called the time value of money. Interest may be simple interest, interest may be compound interest. Compound interest determine future sums of money resulting from an investment. And discounting the calculation of present value, it inversely related to compounding. It is generally used to evaluate the cash flow associated with the valuation of financial asset. Present value or calculation of present value or discounting the value tells us about the value of financial asset, that at present what is the value of financial asset and what will be the value of financial asset in future. If we want to estimate this thing, then we can calculate the present value by using formula and calculate it. What is the meaning of time value of money? You know that money is very liquid form of asset, and money play very important role in each and every activity of the economy. Money has a time value because it can earn more money over time, and as well as time passes or in future, when the supply of money increases, the value of money falls. Whenever supply of money or increase in money supply, definitely fall the value of money. When people earn 100 rupees, at that time the value of money was higher. But at present, people are earning too much money, but the value of money or purchasing power of money is decreasing. So the time value of money is the value which we can find out with the help of the number of existing money supply How much money supply exists at present? If money supply is increasing, value of money will fall. If money supply falls, value of money increases. So money has a time value because it can earn more money over time. Money has a time value because its purchasing power changes over time. As we discussed that money value or purchasing power changes depends upon the supply of money. When supply of money rises, then price level will also rise. When price level rises, purchasing power of the money will fall. It means the value of money will also falls. So, if inflation exists in the economy, then money value will fall. And we know that economy is dynamic. Sometimes inflation situation occur in the economy and sometimes deflation occurs in the economy. Inflation is the situation when price level rises continuously for the long time period. And in case of inflation, value of money will fall, purchasing power of money will fall. And in case of deflation, when price level falls, when price level falls, value of money will rise. But deflation is not a good situation because in case of deflation, economic activities can't run smoothly. So if we ask about this thing, whatever is good, either inflation or deflation, so inflation is good for the economy rather than deflation because deflation create depression situation and inflation create boom situation. Mild inflation is good, but hyperinflation is not good. If price level increases by 100%, 200%, or 1000%, that is very bad situation for the economy. So hyperinflation is not good in each and every economy, but mild inflation or if price level rises by very smaller rate, that will be good for the economy. So time value of money is measured in terms of interest rate. And interest is the cost of having money available for use. A cost to the borrower and earning to the lender. Because lender always earn interest, always get interest by separating their money and by giving their money to the borrowers. And borrower has to pay the interest to the lender. So for the point of view of the borrower, it's a cost. Interest payment is a cost of the borrowing money and it is earning of the lender. Interest is the earning of for the lender. Lender are those person who lend their money to the borrowers and borrowers are those person who borrow money from the lenders. Big corporations, business enterprises borrow money from the banks and bank charges interest rate, higher interest on their borrowings. And who lend their money? Household lend their money, household deposit their money in banks. So households are lenders and business enterprises are borrowers. Lenders will get earning or reward from their deposited amount as a form of interest and borrower will pay interest while they borrow money. It's It is known as cost. Here interest which they are paying, that is called cost of the money. Next is why money has time value. Why money has time value? The existence of interest rates in the economy results in money with its time value. Sacrificing present ownership requires possibility of having more future ownership. Inflation in economy is one of the major cause. That's why money value changes over time. Why? Because inflation in economy is the major cause of changing the value of money. And sacrificing present ownership requires possibility of having more future ownership, and the existence of interest rate in the economy results in money with its time value. And another thing is risk or uncertainty of favorable outcome. That's why money has time value. And all these things occur time to time. That's why money has time value. We can't say that money has no time value. Money has time value, and it's the value of money always changes over the different time period. Next is time value of money discounted cash flow. Here the time value of money, how we can estimate this, and discounted cash flow. A sum of money in hand today is worth more than the same sum promised with certainty in the future. If we say that sum of money, if we have, for example, if we have at present 952.38 rupees, the present value of the money is 952.38 and the interest rate is 5%. Then 952.38 multiplied by 5% means 5 by 100, and 5 by 100 means 0.05. If we multiply this 952.38 into 0.05, then we will get 47.62. This value, and if this value added in this present value like 952.38 plus 47.62, then in future it will be converted in $1,000. So future value will always increase because in future value interest will be added. But in present value interest is not included, but in future value interest will be added. That's why a sum of money in hand today is worth more than the same sum promised with certainty in the future. Now think in terms of money in the bank. For example, if I have deposited 10,000 rupees in a bank at present, then will I get only 10,000 rupees in future? Never. I will get higher amount in future. Either it may be 12,000 after 2 years or 3 years, because in my present deposited amount, interest rate will also added, and interest amount when added in my deposited money, then we will get higher amount in future. So the value today of a sum promised in a year is the amount you had to put in the bank today to have that sum in a year. So the future value of money will decrease when inflation exists in the economy, but if we add interest in present value of the money, then we will get higher amount of money in future. So the value of money will change over different time period. Next is the role of time value in finance. What is the role of this time value? Why we are studying this time value of money in this financial economics? Because it play a very important role in finance. Most financial decisions involve cost and benefit analysis that are spread out over time. Time value of money allows comparison of cash flows from different periods. Here the question is, if your father has offered to give you some money and ask that you choose one of the following two alternatives. Either you can take $1,000 today or $1,100 after 1 year from now. Then what do you do? If you need money at present, then you will get less amount, that will be $1,000. And if you can wait for 1 year or for 2 years, then you will get higher amount like $1,100. So it depends upon our need, our requirement. If money is very necessary, we have to use money in our business enterprises currently, then we have to sacrifice the benefits which we will get in future. And if we can sacrifice the present need, then we will get higher amount in future. So most of the financial decisions involve cost and benefit that are spread out over time. Next is conclusion. From today's session, we can conclude that in today's session we have discussed about spreadsheet. Spreadsheet is a program that allows to use rows and columns of data to manage, predict, and present information. And in each and every field, we can use this spreadsheet program, like spreadsheet in baseball, spreadsheet in economics, spreadsheet in finance, spreadsheet in nutrition. So spreadsheet program or Excel we can use in this financial economics. And last we have discussed in today's session the time value of money, and this is the basic term of interest. So all these things we have covered like unit 5, but unit 6 we have discussed about only the basic time value of money. Remaining portion of unit 6 we will discuss in next session. Thank you.